Señor de Belleflore, Roberto de la Cruz for Parques Internacionales. Can you tell us more about the strategy behind this investment?
Certainly. What we want with this investment is to widen the audience that Belleflore is made for, not only from a local standpoint, but also from an international point of view. Our park is located at the crossroads of Europe. And knowing we have a lot of competition in France and Belgium, having two brand new machines is a statement that we want to rival the greats. On the one hand, it's our first step in the world of thrills thanks to Borealis, and on the other, it's proof of our park's creative power thanks to our themed water dark ride Fiskers song. Hello everyone, I am Jan, your favorite friendly Frenchman, and welcome back to Belleflore. In the last episode, we started the Norwegian area Fiskekysten with Borealis, a Mack mega coaster built on the lake of the park. Today it's time to take a look at the finished area and its new additions to the park because we have a new restaurant, a new Mack water coaster, and a seriously huge backstage area to ground this project in realism. If you like what you see, do leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me as this took a long time to make. With the intro out of the way, time to get immersed into Fiskekysten's coastal vibes once again and start touring the new parts of the area. Let's continue where we left off. Approaching the central plaza of the town, we come across the statue of a mariner called Captain Forson. The little plaque tells us he was the founder of the Northern Lights Club, the building for Borealis' station, and was mysteriously lost at sea many years ago. The captain is one of two main characters in the story of our Mack water coaster, Fiskekysten, which means the fisherman's song. In fact, this very official looking brick building is the entrance for the ride. This is the office building for the local newspaper Fiskers, the word of the fish. Let's enter the queue line. It welcomes us within the very classy lobby of the building where some of the newspaper issues they've published are lying around, and if we speak Norwegian, we can realize that they're talking about a missing captain and Forson's Day, which seems to be a big deal in the town of Fiskekysten. A lot of names that might be familiar to you are working at the local newspaper. You can check them out over the door to their offices, but one that you are not so familiar with and where the queue is taking us is Tristan Nicholson's office. This second main character has been named as a little Easter egg for one of my oldest friends. In our story though, Tristan is a reporter obsessed by the disappearance of Captain Forson, and it looks like he's been doing some research worldwide about the subject. Fun fact, all of the different newspaper names are Easter eggs for all the areas that will be featured in Belleflore by the end of the series. We can read headlines such as Nessie actually Norwegian, portrait of Captain Forson, a song to appease the sea, the Fiskekysten expedition, and Nicholson reopens Forson case. These are diegetic details to help tell the story of the ride while you wait. Another fun fact, my friend Tristan is also working for a news outlet in real life, so I secretly asked his brother what his PC setup looks like to remake it within the game to the best of my ability, and honestly, 3 screens is absolutely crazy. Back to the queue line. We take the back door to exit the office and arrive into a back alley at night. After a nest turn around some clutter, we arrive in front of Loki's Tavern, Fiskekysten's oldest tavern. The tavern is probably my favorite scene of this queue line. It's really detailed and does look like a shady bar in a coastal town that's seen its fair share of centuries and stories. It probably even welcomed the missing captain himself at some point. Coming out of the other end of the tavern and arriving on its terrace, we're overlooking Fiskekysten's harbor where the ride is actually passing by. I really wanted to have a scene like that, which is a sort of homage to the Pirates of the Caribbean rides of the world, which often interact with off-ride sections. This is also inspired by the station of the Flying Dutchman at Efteling. I wish I could have made the station submerged in water, but alas, it's not possible with this ride type. It didn't stop me from taking a ton of inspiration from the Efteling ride though, as you will see soon. Back inside the tavern, the queue line is now running parallel to an ominous staircase which has a rolling pre-show style of effect, creepy writings on the wall and barnacles growing around the door. It's very important to me to let you, as someone visiting the park, draw your own conclusion conclusions instead of forcing narrations through paragraphs and voiceovers, even though that's technically what I'm doing with this video, I realize. Anyway, after that we come out of the tavern one last time as we approach Tristan's boathouse, where a boat is just waiting for you to go on an expedition. My friends, I present to you Belleflore's newest ride, Fiskekysten. And welcome back, sailors! How was your ride on Fiskekysten? I hope this water coaster has honored its inspiration, which I think most of you will have recognized to be the Flying Dutchman at Efteling. As for the storyline, let me know what you think happens in the comments. As we step off the boat and go towards the exit, we find a little gift shop where you can buy merch related to the ride, including the captain's cap and his spyglass, alongside the ride photos, of course, which I'm really proud of because that framing is perfect with the little seagull photobomb. If you have a good memory, this little shop and the offloading station are also being represented in the queue line, which is a nice little detail to subconsciously immerse you. Most people won't notice, of course, but it was important to keep it all cohesive in my mind. Now we are outside once again, greeted by this view of the statue, the lighthouse and Borealis. You might have noticed during your ride that you go under a bridge at one point, and I must say I love how this turned out. I took inspiration from the bridge that goes from Hotel Kronosar to Rolantica at the Europa Park Resort, but made it larger and outdoors, of course. Plus, it creates a lovely interaction with our two coasters because you can stand on the bridge to watch Fiskekysten splash down on one side and see Borealis power through its layout on the other. Speaking of which, let me take this opportunity to turn your attention towards these great boats that Flavstar has lent me from his Frontier Springs park, since I figured there was no need to reinvent the wheel there. I highly recommend you download his park with the share code at the back of the white boat and subscribe to his channel while you're at it. He's an amazing creator. After crossing the bridge, we get to the second plaza of the area, located near the docks, where the only piece of Captain Forson's ship that's been recovered is exposed as another memorial to Fiskekysten's most influential figure. In front of that, we have a tiny drinks shop, since I figured this would be a nice place to relax and enjoy this gorgeous view of the rest of the park, and you can also choose to relax at Captain Forson's restaurant located in his old home. This is the first proper service restaurant of the park. It's very inspired by Europa Park's Fjord restaurant, and you can choose to eat seafood in the captain's office, his dining room, on the terrace with a view of what will one day become a castle, and my personal favorite, on the terrace overlooking the splashdown of Fiskekysten. In the entrance for the restaurant, there is even a lectern for the waiter to welcome guests and escort them to their table with menus ready to be distributed behind them. As for the in-game restaurant needed to make this whole thing work, it's disguised as a place to pay after you're done and is located in a room where two fictional toilets are located. You know, fictional toilets where you can poop fictionally. And with that, my friends, you've seen the entirety of Belleflore's Norwegian area, Fiskekysten, but don't leave yet. The reason why I only immersed you in the park for most of the episode until now is because a massive part of this area is made possible thanks to Backstages, and I thought it was a good idea to separate the two in order not to ruin the magic of discovering it all. But now it's time to break the immersion though. The second backstage access of the area can be found next to Captain Forson's restaurant. Very intentionally, I left the entire left side of it blank since I want to add something there by the end of the series. A dock for barges in case I want to do a nighttime fireworks show, because this will be uniquely linked to the lake by the upcoming castle moat. On the right side though, we can find the little building for the restaurant's kitchen, reserved parking spots for its staff, and of course the structures to hold the facades into place. Who would have thought when we viewed this from inside the park that those are actually hollow inside? Kind of like me now that I think about it. Further into the backstages, we find the access to block section number 2 for the water coaster, a road that crosses over that ride, its rock work, and the access to its maintenance bay. The transfer track is located between the offload and the onload, by the way, and fun fact, I've used invisible pathing so that you can walk inside in first person because the first person experience remains my priority. You may also have noticed some tricks to hide the parts of the show building that were sticking out, including 2 fake houses to cover the corners and potted trees to blend with the green tone of the building. After that, an S-turn leads us to the back of the show building where we can see the enclosed lift hill and my first roundabout in the game, which is where staff members enter the park. I'm starting to improve my backstage experience little by little, and there's even more to do in the upcoming episodes. Continuing along the ring road around the park, which is not really a ring road yet, you'll come across an additional bigger parking lot that was added on top of the one from the previous episode, which just didn't have enough parking spaces to welcome everyone who might work in Fiskekysten for their shift. The exit of this parking lot brings you at the back of the House of Skur from the last episode, where I've added water filtration for our new ride as well as emergency exit for both the queue and the show scenes of Fiskekysten. And voila, my friends, with that, Fiskekysten is completely operational and ready to welcome you with the share code that appears on your screen. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't miss the next one, in which I'll start building the American area by subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to like and hype the video. By the way, this video is sponsored by you! Videos like this are the culmination of over 200 hours of work. That is why I want to thank my channel supporters and VIP supporters who have joined me on the behind-the-scenes journey of making this and have enjoyed the episode in early access. Their names are in the park, and if you'd like to join them in supporting me too, please find the link to do so in the description. That is also where you'll find your invitation to my Discord server, the Yan HQ, where over 500 talented members share their Planet Coaster projects daily, and we'd love to see what you've been up to. Thank you all so much for watching my video. This has been Yan, your favorite friendly Frenchman, and as always, you've been awesome, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Belleflore. Bye.